And it is because of my love for our country, and specifically because of the leadership that President Trump has brought to transform the Republican Party and bring it back to the party of the people and the party of peace, that I'm proud to stand here with you today, President Trump, and announce that I'm joining the Republican Party. I'm joining the party of the people, the party of equality, the party that was founded to fight against and end slavery in this country. It is the party of common sense, and the party that is led by a president who has the courage and strength to fight for peace.
Trump is absolutely crushing it. This is the best part of the campaign. The last 2 weeks of a Trump campaign are always the best part. He surges like no one else. As the Democrats are finding out the hard way, we're going to see the real reason why the fledgling Kamala campaign is getting so pathetically desperate and what it really means going into November. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You do not want to miss a single video where I'm committed to giving you the single best election coverage out there. You know what else I'm committed to? Your health. That's right. We can't take care of our country if we don't first take care of ourselves. And so that's why I partnered with the wonderful patriots over at Liver Health Formula. If you're one of the 100 million Americans struggling with all the weight gain and loss of energy that comes with a fatty liver, these patriots are going to be your best friend. Liver Health Formula is an all-natural supplement. It contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the United States, and it's approved by independent American doctors. And if you click on that link below right now, you can try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula when you order today. So don't let a fatty liver keep you sluggish and inactive. You know, this is personal for me. I tell you that every time. I recently lost over 60 pounds, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And guess what? It's your turn. Click on that link below or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley. Claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley. Take a look at the latest from Gallup. Gallup just dropped their favorability ratings poll, which reveals which candidate is basically most liked. Which of the two candidates you favor more? Look at this. It just gets worse and worse for the Democrats. Gallup's favorability ratings give Trump a +5 favorability. His favorability is at 52%, whereas by contrast, Kamala is, surprise, surprise, underwater. Kamala's freaking underwater at 47, and her unfavorability is the same level as Trump's favorability, 52%. The majority have an unfavorable view of Kamala. I mean, this is just, the psychopathic left must literally be frothing at the mouth today. And so obviously, with Trump just running away with this election right now, with the poll surge, with the voter registration trends, with the early voting blowouts, and I will remind you every single video, this is no time to get complacent. I get it. We got to act like we're 5 points behind. We got to get everybody we know out to the polls and get this thing done big time. Yeah, no question. But with all of that, it's no coincidence that the Democrats have doubled down on desperate. It's no coincidence the Democrats are doubling down on desperate. As Kamala's unofficial campaign team, the legacy media is doing everything they absolutely can to fixate on whatever Kamala's op research team fabricates, like the media did with Hillary Clinton's Russian collusion hoax, because that's what the legacy media does. They are the very definition of a propaganda outlet. And they are fulfilling their job description and hyperfixating on slanderous smut against Trump, while, of course, at the same time, conveniently ignoring and overlooking Kamala's blatant, explicit, and repeated plagiarism. They'll just dismiss that as, quote, unserious, but unsubstantiated, unfounded, uncorroborated, anonymous allegations that Trump is a Hitler-loving racist. Oh, lead story. Let's go with that. Breaking news. And that, of course, is exactly what we're seeing in these final days. CBS actually had the gall to lead last night's evening news that nobody watches with a completely discredited story that Trump disparaged a slain female Latino soldier. Notice every single one of those identity categories, right? A female, a Hispanic, and a soldier. Obviously, it's fabricated to try to hurt Trump with those voting groups. It's not going to happen, but that's what they're trying to do. Ironically, the story has already been completely discredited by the slain soldier's own family. Her sister just came out and said the entire story is nonsense. They've met personally with President Trump. He's only been the most wonderful help to them, and that she and her family all just voted for him. You're talking about something just blowing up in your face. The legacy media is so pathetic. But we all know this is all just par for the course of what the legacy media and the fledgling Harris campaign have been doubling down on. All they have recourse to are increasingly shrill hysterics stigmatizing Trump as a racist, bigot, fascist, Satan-loving Nazi. Look at the latest from The Atlantic. The pathetic, sad, ultra-woke, trash rag Atlantic is once again, like Chicken Little, accusing Trump of, yes, pro-Hitler sentiments. I mean, it's just so boring at this point. I got to be honest. I mean, it's just, well, I'm getting ahead of myself because maybe I'm schizophrenic, but just in case you thought this propagandist rag couldn't stoop any lower than that, they even have an article that says Trump is Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini all wrapped up into one. I mean, this is not a Saturday Night Live parody. This is real. This is really real. This is the way these woke-infested, echo chamber, imprisoned left-wing lunatics actually think, if you could call it that. One week, Trump is Hitler. The next week, he's Mussolini. The next week, he's Mao. And then at the end of the week, he's all three combined. Let's put it all together and shake it up into a cocktail, a dictator authoritarian cocktail. There are two fundamental strategic problems with these obvious acts of desperation. First and foremost, it's too late in the game. These attacks are too late. And I'm not talking simply because millions of people have already voted. That's true. And voted overwhelmingly for Trump, as we're finding out. It's because all of this fabricated tabloid trash is coming out during the time that Trump surges historically to his strongest level ever. Just ask Hillary. No one closes out a campaign like Trump. We saw it in 2016 when Hillary, it was in the final 6 days, Hillary began to see her dominant lead over Trump just evaporate right before her very eyes. We saw it in 2020 as well. Biden had double-digit leads in virtually every single poll all throughout October, only to see that lead shrink to about 4.5% of the popular vote on Election Day. And it literally dwindled down at an electoral level and dwindled down to just 40,000 margin victory between 3 states. Trump was 40,000 votes away from taking the presidency in 2020. And I really appreciated this tweet because I think it captures the essence of what's happening now in terms of how Trump is closing this out. You saw that with Tulsi Gabbard at the beginning of the video now announcing she's become Republican precisely because of President Trump's leadership. Look at this. He's doing Rogan on Friday. He's doing Madison Square Garden over the weekend. People are still talking about his genius move at McDonald's. Trump is effectively shutting Kamala out of the news cycle. So the legacy media can fixate all they want on this Kamala concocted smut. Trump dominates the social media news cycle in his own terms in the final 2 weeks of any election, and that effectively drowns out the hysterical, desperate rhetoric, as we could see him doing right now. But there's something even more fundamental to why this is all not working, this doubling down on stupid here, on desperate. Rick Moran of PJ Media had a very good article out that explains the real reason for the Democrats' desperation here. As it turns out, the vast majority of the country simply doesn't buy it. It's really that simple. After all the hysterics, after all the nonstop accusations and fixations about Trump's supposed racism and Nazism and so on, the voting public overwhelmingly just doesn't buy it. It's actually just that simple. Even freaking Biden will put on a MAGA cap. People don't buy it. The reason why this rhetoric is escalating on the left is precisely because it's not working. There's no evidence, there's no hard data whatsoever that the vast majority of voters in any way, shape, or form believe President Trump to be a racist fascist. And so rather than pivot away from an unsuccessful strategy, right, that's so clearly not working, the psychopathic left is only screaming it louder. And I've got to say, I think the reason they're doing that, the reason they're doubling down on stupid, is because they have nowhere else to pivot. And the fundamental reason why they have nothing else is because they become mentally lazy and devoid of any serious policies and solutions to our nation's problem. And that is because the Democrats and the legacy media exist for one reason and one reason only, and that's to defend and protect their own power and affluence. For example, go to any big city in the nation. Go to any major city ruled by Democrats, virtually all of them are, and you will see a societal apocalypse. You will see end of empire vibes on literally every street corner. You will see literally a failed society. You'll see portions of a society that make Mogadishu look like Beverly Hills by comparison. And the fundamental reason for that is because the political party that's monopolized power over those failed societies is purely parasitic. Write that down. The political party that has monopolized power over those failed societies is purely parasitic. It exists only to exist. They are in power solely to protect and perpetuate that power. They exist for no other reason. And that parasitic existence is beginning to erode right along with the failed society they have literally drained the life from. Remember, the problem with rot is that it rots. The problem with deterioration is that it deteriorates. The Democrats appear to have come to their deteriorative end. They've got nothing left. And that is the real reason why they become so pathetically desperate.